Welcome to the Next Door podcast. I am Bestie Next Door, and I'm like your bestie next door. If you like your tea to be extra, extra sweet, then this place is not for you, because we like our tea to be sweet and bitter. Sweet enough that it goes down, bitter enough to wake us up. Now, you guys know how we start this, my American honey. I'm still waiting for you guys to come and sponsor me and brand me. Again, just for those who are new to my episodes, this alcohol is not really a strong alcohol at all. It's kind of like a liqueur. It's not really that strong, to be honest with you guys. It's not like the type of drinks that makes you like aggressive or, slurring on your words. It's actually really good. It makes me happy. I don't need to drink all the time, but I just like the whole vibe of it. It's only 35.5%. Trust me, there's no guy that can like this alcohol because it's really, really sweet. If you're a guy and you like sweet alcohol, maybe, but most men would not like this. This is definitely a woman's drink. For those who like my SMRs, you know how we started. This is a fresh bottle. I don't get the big ones. I always get like a little small ones, I have my other half here, but because I want to open a new one just for this episode, like this episode deserves a new bottle. So and we're going to put her to the side because we always call her a her. And of course, no other than Red Bull, can't be topped with anything else. And you have to have a lot of ice. First sip. It's so funny because some people don't like my sips while others love my sips. What is my video without a sip? Okay, we're going to talk about two different things this episode. We have two different topics. You know how I bounce around with topics. But our main topic, single mothers in the dating world and how it is to be a single woman and not having any luck when it comes to dating. Let's just jump right into it. I don't know what it is when it comes to women that have kids and maybe a single mother, but your value does not decrease just because you have a kid. Your value actually increases. You gave birth to a whole human being. That means you don't even have time to be playing games. You deserve the utmost princess treatment. But the problem is that most men that know you have kids on the first encounter feel like you're going to push your kids onto them. And no man wants to feel like he's taking care of another man's baggage, right? That's really what it is when it comes to the dating world with single women. Just because you have a kid doesn't mean you can't have a good dating life. And I think the problem is that most women that are single, they get so consumed in their kids that they forget about themselves. And you need to understand that just because you have a kid doesn't mean you're out of the dating world, especially if that situation with your child's father did not work out. It doesn't mean you're out of the dating world. Actually, your stock increased once you have a child. Don't let these people out here tell you, oh no, you're damaged goods. You're not damaged goods. You added to the world's population. Your value can never be decreased. And don't let no man or nobody on the internet come and tell you because you have a kid, your value decreased and you're not entitled to have a good dating life. That's a lie. They're just mad because they didn't crack your eggs first. You know how I jump around my topic. Valentine's Day is coming up and all the girls online is going to be showing off the gifts that their so-called imaginary boyfriend got them. Listen, if you're a single mom and a single woman, you know what you need to do on Valentine's Day? Enjoy your alone time. Get you a glass of wine, get you some nice snacks, listen to the High Value Woman audiobook and transform yourself and appreciate your alone time. Because if you don't appreciate your alone time, how is someone else going to appreciate your alone time? If you don't enjoy being with yourself, how is another person going to enjoy being with you? You need to love yourself first. You can't look for love outside of yourself because the way you love yourself is the way you show others how to love you. And this is why I talk about self-investment, because a lot of women don't understand their values or how to be feminine because of the things that they were told or the things that they have experienced. This is why I talk about taking the High Value Woman one-on-one course or listening to the High Value Woman audiobook and start your transformation. Just because you're a single mom doesn't mean you're out of the game. The game just begun. Your value has increased because you produced a whole human being. You added to the population of the world. So you are a valuable player. Just like any other woman, you deserve the best as well. And that's the problem. And the problem is that a lot of single moms mentally jail themselves by thinking that just because they have a kid, no guy's going to want them or they're damaged goods. No, sweetie, you're not damaged goods. Don't lose yourself being a mom because at the end of the day, your kid is going to grow up and you're going to be left by yourself. So you need to have a healthy balance between being a mom and still being that individual that has a dating life, has her own things going on, increasing her value, working on her self-development. You still need to be that woman. A lot of women have kids. They don't end up with the child's father and then automatically forget about themselves and put all their energy into their kid. No, It's about you too. That's one of the important traits of being a high value woman, is understanding balance. Just as much as you're raising that child to be a good individual, is just as much you also need to raise yourself to develop yourself to be a better woman, so you can attract another man in your life that's going to appreciate you and your child. You're not out of the game. This is why I talk about when you are on the first date, you don't need to tell a guy about your child. If he asks, you don't need to lie. It's not about you lying, but it's just about not giving out too much personal information, because you know what tends to happen is when a guy asks you about your kid on the first date, a lot of women don't know how to keep it short. It usually makes a lot of women vulnerable. And you know what tends to happen is a lot of women start spilling all the tea about, yeah, the situation didn't work out, this didn't work out. No, that's why I say, on the first date, you shouldn't be talking about your kids. If it's mentioned, you say yes briefly. When you're on the first date, you have to control the conversation. Don't feel ashamed that you are a mom. Just because you have a kid doesn't mean you're out the game, and you run the show. So on this date, he asks you about your kid. You admit to having your kid, but you're going to flip the question and control the conversation, because your main objective is to know more about him. A lot of women are not going to admit this, but once a guy asks you about if you have a kid and you say yes, automatically you start feeling like, damn. It's like a natural, like, damn. Damn. No. See, this is how you play the game. He asks you, oh, do you have a kid? You say yes. And then you talk about something else. You divert the conversation to something totally different to let him talk more about himself, so you can know if he's going to be in your life long enough. Most women, once a guy asks about a kid, the conversation goes flat. Just change the topic. Control the conversation. That's what it is in being a high value woman. You control the room. You are the woman. This is why I talk about women listening to the High Value Woman audiobook and becoming that best version of yourself before you go out dating. Because when you become the best version of yourself before you go back into the dating world, you'll see how you're able to shift things, and you'll see how you're able to control and attract the right guys to you. Listen to the audiobook. It's not going to cost you that much. It's a very inexpensive cost to just listen to an audiobook, do the challenge in the audiobook, and become the best version of yourself, so that when you're in the dating world, you attract the right guys to you, and you know how to control the conversation, and you're that confident woman. Because a lot of women, believe it or not, they say they're confident, but they're not really that confident, especially women that are single moms, because they feel like they're damaged goods. And you're not no damaged good, sweetie. Listen to the High Value Woman audiobook and become that girl. Transform yourself. Attract a better guy that's going to accept you and your child. Look at Ciara. Ciara had a kid. If Ciara had the mindset of, oh, well, I have a kid with Future and no other guy's going to want me, would she have a husband right now? Absolutely not. Usually single mothers, like, they hide and mask behind the hurt by pouring all their energy into their child's development instead of pouring it into themselves. You need to have a balance. You can raise your child to be the best human being while you also be the best version of yourself. Listen to the High Value Woman audiobook and start your transformation. Let's transition into single women that's finding it hard in the dating pool. The reason why, as a single girl with no kids, you're finding it hard to attract the right man is because you are not elevating. You're only going to attract the level that you're on. If you're on level 5, you're only going to attract a level 5 man and below. But when you get to level 8, you're only going to attract level 8 and above. This is why I tell you ladies, I tell every lady, single, not married, listen to the High Value Woman audiobook and do the transformation practice that's in that book, so you can transform yourself into the best version of yourself. Because the moment you become that girl, it's going to be hard for you to attract a level 2 when you're a level 8, because a level 2 is never going to be where a level 8 is. So that's why I be confused when girls are, well, I transform myself and I'm still attracting bums. That means you really didn't transform yourself, because if you're on a level 8, a level 2 can't be where 8 is, because a level 2 can't even process or think about being in the same places that a level 8 woman can be. You're not hearing me. The reason why you may find it hard for you as a single woman with no kids in the dating world is because you're so used to providing for yourself that you don't even realize that you're giving off that masculine energy. You don't even realize it, that I'm giving off this masculine energy. You won't see it. You won't realize it. This is why self-development and self-investing is very important before you get into the dating world. Because when you transform yourself to that best version of yourself by listening to the High Value Woman audiobook, when you get into the dating world, you're going to see how easy it is for you to attract the type of men you want. You're going to get to the point where you have to pick, like, do I want this one or do I want that one? Well, let's see what's a given. When you're rushing into the dating world and hoping to meet a guy, you're not going to meet the right guy. Remember, the best things usually happen when you least expect it. This is why you need to listen to the High Value Woman audiobook and be more in tune with yourself and pour into yourself, because the grass will always be greener where you water it. For my single ladies, you shouldn't feel bad because you don't have a Valentine or because you don't have a man to buy you chocolate and flowers or buy you gifts. Spend more time healing, developing yourself, because when you become that girl by listening to the High Value Woman audiobook, when you attract the right guy, every day is going to feel like Valentine's Day. Get the High Value Woman audiobook. Now, guys, you guys know how I do my episodes. I always bounce around. And I just wanted to really talk about this topic because I feel like it's not talked about a lot. Single women and single mothers in the dating world. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to come back for our next episode. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on my social media networks. If you're looking to get the audiobook or the course, you can find it in the description below. Until we meet again.